Many young footballers showed up at this Euro 2024, like Musiala, Havertz, Bellingham, or Arda Güler. But one shocked the whole world. He is often associated with Lionel Messi. He even won the entire Euro at only 16 years old. You probably understood that I am talking about Lamine Yamal. And where did this football player appear? And at the same time, there are also things that you definitely did not know about him. These are 7 things you didn't know about Lamine Yamal. We will start at the beginning, in a small part of Barcelona, in Esplugues de Llobregat. Young Yamal was born here in 2007. Full name Lamine Yamal Nasraoui Abana. His mother is from Equatorial Guinea and his father from Morocco. His mother worked as a cleaner and his father as a painter, so Yamal's childhood was not easy. Let's look at a miraculous situation. In October 2007, Barcelona played a charity match, and there was a lot of hype around Lionel Messi, who also played in this match. And part of this event was Messi's photo shoot with the child, and then his bath. It's an absolutely incredible coincidence, but that child was Lamine Yamal. And maybe that's why Lamin has such talent now. After all, he was baptized one of the best soccer players in the world. Lamin's family won this in a raffle, and they had no idea which player it would be with. Yamal was very lucky, but it didn't last long. Let's move on to the problems in the life of this football player. Before we move there, I would like to ask you to click the subscribe button so that you don't miss any more new videos. When Yamal was 3 years old, his parents split up, his mother moved to another city, and Lamin had a hard time. One week he was in the city of Granollers, where his mother lived, and the second week he was in the city of Mataró, where he lived with his father. Both parents supported little Yamal in football. At the age of 4, he started playing for the La Torreta team. What was the local club in the town where his mother lived? So it is logical that he spent more time with his mother also thanks to football. Yamal was so talented that scouts from FC Barcelona spotted him at the age of 6. First, they invited him to a training session to see his talent, and after seeing him, they simply had to admit him to the academy. He was very fast and, compared to other children, had great control over the ball. Even then, he showed incredible talent, and a year later joined FC Barcelona's La Masia Academy, where Lionel Messi once grew up. Some players might take it quite arrogantly that they got so high, but Yamal took it very modestly. For example, he never wore club clothes in public so that none of his relatives knew. Already in 2 years, he scored 56 goals in 30 matches for Barcelona. Even the coach said about him that he is much better than other children, and he was only 8 years old. Did you know that Barcelona broke one of their rules because of him? It was because they were staying with a player outside of Catalonia. For example, Messi was from Argentina, so it was fine there. But Yamal was so talented that they broke this rule because they wanted to have control over him. And in the end, it paid off. Then Lamin had to be moved to higher categories because he was already too good. Especially when he scored 301 goals in 151 matches. For a time, he played with players who were 4 years older than him. But even that didn't bother him to be dominant on the field. He also scored 56 goals in 98 matches. But his assists increased and he became more of a team player. Maybe the fact that Yamal changed the position where he played. Few people know this, but Yamal once played as a striker. But over time, it became clear that it would be better to play as Lave's winger. The older Yamal was, the more unbeatable he was in 1-versus-1 combat. And the Spanish Football Federation started to notice that too. After he won the La Liga Promises tournament with Barcelona, he was invited to play for the Spanish U15 national team. He played only 6 matches for U15. He was then moved to the U16 category, where he did not record much. And then they moved him to U17, where he played 10 matches and scored 8 goals. You probably understood that he was absolutely shining there. But before he was moved to a higher category, he played at the European Under-17 Championships. And even there, he was successful, scoring 4 goals for the entire tournament and reaching the semi-finals with the Spanish jump. There they were eliminated from France, but all eyes were already on Yamal, and it was only a matter of time before he was invited to the A team of Barcelona. He was only 15 years old, and Xavi invited him to the very first training session with the A team. In 2023, He got his first match against Atletico, but he only watched it from the bench. But the next week was different. There was a match against Real Betis, and Yamal came on as a substitute player, and he was only 15 years and 9 months old, and thus became the youngest Barcelona player to ever start a match. This entry into game has a different meaning than it seems, because after Yamal was 16 years old, he could sign a contract with any club in the world because he would become a free player. But Xavi put him in the A team and convinced him to stay at the club. He was supposed to start only from the bench as a substitute, but he showed his talent so much that now he plays almost every match. And since he was so young, he also broke many records. He became the youngest player to start a match in the La Liga, the youngest player to give an assist in the La Liga, the youngest debutant in the Champions League for Barcelona, and also became the youngest scorer in the La Liga. He also broke the record for the youngest player in the Spanish national team who also scored a goal. That's how he got to Euro 2024. You may have seen that Lamine Yamal cannot start the match after 8 o'clock in the evening. Because in Germany they have a law that children under 18 cannot work after 8 o'clock in the evening. And Yamal was only 16 years old then. Allegedly, the Spanish national team had to pay a fine of 30,000 euros for every match in which he started. Finally, he entered the Euro, where he broke many records. How is the youngest scorer at the Euro the youngest player to play at the Euro? He also won Euro 2024 with Spain and became European champion at only 17 years old. It will be very interesting to watch his future, whether he fulfills his potential or ends up like, for example, Neymar. You can write it in a comment. And you can also write about which other player I should make a video in this way. Thank you for watching this video until this point. If you liked it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And I love you and hope to see you again soon.